Let me tell you about my trainer. So, I was trained by an elder named Elder Monson. And Elder Monson is what a German would call a Spaßvogel, which translates as a fun bird. And it's just, we would say he's a goofball, you know? And there was a lot of funny things that happened with him. A lot of funny things. Oh my goodness. The guy slept walk. He would sleepwalk, yeah. And plenty of times where he would just say funny things in his sleep, or I was actually too tall for my bed frame, so I would put my mattress on the ground and just sleep there. He would wake up in his sleep and start kicking me and just not remember it at all the next day. He would wake up and try to leave the apartment because he was convinced the dream he was having was real. And there was some elder who had gotten lost or kidnapped, and we had to go find them or something. And a lot of funny things happened there. I had a companion. This guy was there. He was the first guy I trained. He was a native German. He was my second German companion, and he there was just a lot of funny things he would do. He was one of those very, like, I don't want to say hyperactive, not at all like in that way, but he always had to be like doing something with his hands. And so he would take a whole bunch of staples while he would study, and he would unbend them and then like rebend them all together and make chains out of them. And then he thought, well, I've got all these chains, like, what am I going to do? And he would hang them around the apartment, hang things off of them. He even made laundry lines so he could dry his stuff. But definitely a few stories with him. So the second guy that I trained, he was from Smithfield, Utah, a guy named Elder Hogan. Love him to death. He's getting home in 6 months. Oh my goodness. And he was just like the funniest, most well-intending, humble guy that you could meet. And he and I had a lot of funny adventures. There was one time where we were going through our area book, and we found this record of this woman who had been meeting with the missionaries for a long time. And she had gotten pregnant, and things got a little, like, not rocky, but it was hard to find time to meet, you know, because a lot of things were happening in her life. And we called her up, eventually got an appointment set with her and stuff. But before that happened, we were trying to find her because there was a note written on it that says, we don't have her actual address, but we think it's this. And we thought, that's a weird thing to write. All right, let's look it up. You know, so we've got our maps out. Okay, yes, that's a real village that exists. Okay, cool. And that's a real street. So far, so good. And we looked at it, and sometimes the maps, they'll have like the house numbers written on them, so you can tell, okay, 30 is about here, so on and so forth. You thought, okay, yeah, that looks like that could be a real address. Thing was, it was pretty far away. And so we thought, well, would it be worth it? And we weighed, you know, the pros and cons, thought about it, prayed about it, and decided, well, we'll go for it, because finding her would totally be worth it. And the town, it's of considerable size, and it's not like it's that far away. So if we could get some things there going on, plenty of reason to go back. And remember, we took a Saturday, and we took a bus out there, and it was all planned out. It was perfect. It was fine. Until we found out there were no buses that were actually driving back to Ingolstadt on that day. And so, gosh, Elder Hogan was also feeling a little bit sick because he was adjusting to the food. And so the poor guy was just like holding his belly, you know, like things weren't going well. And we're trying to find this place, and it turns out the address is real. And I don't know who wrote this on the paper, but it was an empty lot. It was a field. And we did talk to some nice people, though. Met some nice people, you know, so that was cool. But yeah, it was an interesting story. We ended up calling up the senior couple that was serving and said, hi, Elder and Sister Wright. We're really sorry about this, but we're stranded in this little town about 45 minutes from Ingolstadt. Can you come save us? And, you know, they came and helped out. But it was funny. That was the first time they even met Elder Hogan. So it was a great first impression, you know. That was funny. That was a really funny story. Lots of funny things happened with Elder Hogan. Not necessarily like that where plans went bad. That was probably like the only one. But just goes to show, you know, if you're a happy guy, funny things will happen. Yeah.